Oh man. Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys?
Okay.
Oh
So
God.
tell us
My
about this
computer will
fan.
explode now out of all
Yeah.
these comments.
What's the fanboy thing going on here? What's happening here, Robert?
I don't know. I think these are just our heroes, and they love what we're doing. And Dubai is going to be a massive event for us because we're unveiling our version 3 Metascanner, which I briefly told you about.
I know you told us, but let's be fair to everybody else.
Yeah,
First, thank you so much for hanging out with Christina and I. And you are coming to us from where?
I'm going to be right now. I'm in Poland.
You're in Poland. You're in Poland.
Yeah,
Is that where your development team is?
partially, mostly, yes.
And tell us, in Poland, outside of the box thinkers, what makes Poland besides your home unique?
We have some of the best developers in the world. But having said that, most of them kind of sit in these outsourcing type of gigs, and they do outsourced work for the Western companies. So, what I have done for the last 10 years, I built a company here, which actually was one of the fastest growing in Europe for a year. And I took those brilliant developers and I finally just started building ventures. I was able to bridge kind of the gap with I'm bilingual. I'm born in the UK and I'm from Poland. So I was able to kind of take those developers, which cost like a third of what you'd pay in Silicon Valley, and get American revenues in and just create a very lucrative kind of thing. And that company was called Codewise. I sold it last year, and I'm a bit late to crypto, I would say, in comparison to others. I got in, like I would say 99% of my attention is now in crypto. I got in at the end of last year fully, and I very quickly realized that most of these crypto projects are kind of like Gaurav was talking about. They're very technical, like run by geeks, like crypto, like nerds and cultists. And I realized that I could do something, building a real business in crypto, having a physical object, which is our scanner, and that's what we're working on to bridge, the reality with the metaverse, with the scanner. That's going to essentially, our goal is to build the largest database of real world objects scanned into the metaverse, and that's kind of what we're doing. So we're looking to take NFTs and everything around that to the next level.
Where will
Wow.
you store all this?
Oh, we're gonna have like monumental servers because sometimes one scan can be terabytes of data
Right.
because we do photogrammetry, which takes images from many cameras and kind of molds them together.
How will
But
you
yeah,
protect it?
so we have an army of lawyers working on that right now, and yeah, this is why people don't go into the physical world. They stick to crypto because it's just easier. You get to be anonymous and you get to kind of be unaccountable. But we're taking it upon us to bring this to the world, and yeah, it's going to require a lot of legal work, and
Robert,
that's
it seems like because I've noticed a lot of lawsuits are starting to pop up on the NFT side,
okay.
and I've noticed that from big record labels that thought they had their own IP, they realized things as far back as 5 years ago were filed, and it wasn't called an NFT, but it was still a digital asset. So going into this space, I'm assuming you're right. The law side is probably going to be one of your most cumbersome things beside the tech side. So what do you
Yeah.
do if you find out you potentially could be infringing on a patent? Do you become an ally, or do you just say, hey, we got to reverse engineer this and do something ourselves?
Well, the main issue for us is that we plan to scan people. Hence the kind of tagline, "Be your own hero." One of the use cases that we're looking to bring to the market is, say you can, if you're a gamer, you could come and scan yourself and port yourself into the next GTA game and run around and wreak chaos if that's your style of
I'm
play.
just Pac-Man. If you could do it in Pac-Man, I'm cool with it. I'm old.
So you can imagine having someone's avatar, and perhaps you'll even be scanned in your underwear because that's what would be required for virtual fitting of clothes. That requires a hefty amount of privacy protection. Nobody wants their 3D half-naked avatar leaked on the internet. Plus, you could, if you had the 3D model, you could animate it to do whatever the hell you wanted to. So we have to be very, very careful with how we store those files, how we allow those files to be kind of used by the users. So we're in the process of building a whole infrastructure around that. But the first stage is to just demonstrate the technology. So show people how the scanner looks like, which will be in Dubai. I mentioned it's 7 meters tall. It's it's a bit of a logistical nightmare just to get it to Dubai, and it's going to be shipped
Will it
off.
be working?
Yeah. It's going to
So
be.
Christina and I can actually scan ourselves when we're there.
That's correct.
Yes. I'm going to look so damn good in my underwear.
Yeah. So
I
we're
would
bringing
fully clothed though. Huh?
fully clothed. I think Dubai is going to be only fully clothed.
Oh yes.
We we might have another scanner in the back.
Wonderful. How you call it? Chamber.
Yeah, the
Can
chamber
you reveal the
metascanner.
price? I saw that you can already pre-order.
Yeah, so our initial business model was that we would franchise these things, but it's evolved so quickly. We're actually, in the near future, we're going to be announcing a massive partnership with one of the biggest companies in the world that's taken huge interest in our technology. And so our business model is kind of just evolving very quickly as we brought it to market.
But it would make sense of a company, and I don't know who the partner is. I'm just saying this, so I'm
Yeah.
going to throw out a name like Siemens or somebody like that. Would love, because their legacy, they're known in the medical space. They haven't really bridged the gap, but a company that's a legacy company would love to be a partner, I'm guessing, because it brings them into a space that most of these legacy companies are not even close to.
For sure, but we wouldn't really love to have a legacy company as a partner, and it is not a legacy company. I guess that's all I'll say for now. But you know, Apple's going in hard into VR. Everybody is. They're going to be launching in 2 years their headset. So we're looking to be already positioned with 24 scanners spread around the world before that happens. And you know, we're a nimble startup. I think a lot of these big companies, they simply they'll never be able to move as quickly as we do. Christina, you asked briefly, like, what is the approximate cost of one of these scanners? I can tell you it's in the mid seven figures. Am I saying that right?
It's
$1 million
under 10 million?
under $10 million, yeah. And
Like an apartment in Paris.
like an apartment in Paris or
Yeah, but so let me understand this. Are you looking at having different scanners all over the world? And
Correct.
then people bring in their assets and then they're scanned. And how do you make money on that scan other than, is there just an exchange of currency and that's it? Or is there more to it?
So we have our native token, the Hero token, which will be the only form of payment accepted to be scanned. And on top of that, we're going to be building an NFT marketplace. So, you know, our technology will allow you to scan any work of art in Ultra HD. So it'll essentially democratize art and you know, painting, sculptures, or whatever. You can then port that into the metaverse and then charge people for viewing it virtually. And on top of that, I'll give you an interesting example, Ken. If you scanned yourself, you could take let's say, take a box that says, I allow Metahero and Wolf, our partner Wolf, to use my avatar in for third-party sort of use cases, such as, say, GTA 6. They need 1 million people to populate their city, like 1 million virtual people. They would then come and buy those avatars from us, because to create a lifelike, human-like, you know, in-game NPC, it's called, like a representation of a human in a game. It takes an artist 600 hours to kind of create that by hand. Otherwise, they look like cyborgs. You know, they look like you have to really put in all the.
But you know,
Is there a way to track your avatar in this metaverse city?
Which, well, you know, that's all going to evolve. This is all very fresh. But this is already a real use case, because the V1 scanner, which we sent you guys a link to, it was used by CD Projekt in the making of Cyberpunk 2077, which was one of the hottest games of last year. They ended up scanning all of their employees, and they saved 2 years of work because they used the avatars of their employees in the game as the characters instead of their designers making all these.
So let's talk about this idea. The idea is, if I buy a app on the Android platform, I then, on the Apple platform, I have to buy the app again. Even though I own it on one, I have to buy it in another place. And the same thing, if I buy something entitled music and I'm able to listen to it and play it, I would have to go buy it if I wanted to buy it on Apple iTunes. So literally, I have the music, but the music is not mine in different components, different places.
Yeah.
If I scan myself, and let's say I want to be on the virtual playa at Burning Man, that happens next week, okay? I think someone said it's called the Rogue Playa this year, something crazy like that. would I be able to take my avatar and move it into different metaverses because it's mine, or am I limited to the ones that are only in partnership with you?
Well, initially it'd be the ones that are in partnership with us, because like I said, there's a huge privacy sort of issue around that. If your avatar file leaked, someone could animate you in a porn film. Like, would you want that? I don't know, maybe, but that's the kind of thing that can happen.
A microphone like that, maybe.
That's the kind of thing that can happen. So, but what I meant to say, like, you could start to profit with your avatar. So you say you pay us the $200 to get yourself scanned, and then a Rockstar, which is the name of the developer of GTA, then pays $50 to every person that allows them to use their avatar in the game. Over time, your avatar could become a source of profit for you. You can use the different body types to do different medical sort of measurements for the fashion industry. So there's a lot of use cases where you can monetize what you've paid for. And this is just the avatar part. Then there's a whole scanning of artwork in Ultra HD and medical and fashion type of applications. So,
but I think what Christina asked earlier is, what do you think the cost of this is going to be?
The cost of what are the scanners?
Scanning ourselves in. I want to scan me in.
Can you just rent it?
Initially, it's a $200 per scan. That's what we're going with. And I know that's quite premium, but you have to take into account, one of the things I was thinking about in the beginning is there's 200 million people in crypto approximately. And I was thinking to myself, okay, there's around 3 billion gamers. There's 5 billion people on social media. Why isn't anyone building any crypto project to target these people? So one of the easiest use cases is to scan yourself, and then our system will populate animated GIFs. So you could have a 3D animated Ken dancing around or Christina doing a backflip. You can then use that on social media, on your WhatsApp. And as some people know, Jiffy was bought by Facebook for $500 million. Like, this is like a lowest hanging fruit. I'm talking about animated GIFs. Like, we'll probably be demonstrating that already at Dubai. And yeah, so you can.
Where will these chambers be situated? Like, if you want to scan yourself, where should you go?
Well, our initial focus is going to be on Asia because it's just the fastest growing market, and I think there's just the most gamers there and the most I would say wealthier segment of the gamers who would be willing to pay the $200. So keeping in mind those numbers I just threw out, the 3 billion gamers approximately and 5 billion people in social media, you could say $200 is a lot, but if you take 1% of 3 billion gamers, there's the premium segment is kind of what we're after initially, and then after time, I believe we'll probably have some cheaper scanners that will.
It's the same what Tesla did, right? You go after the high end and bring it down. Hey, by the way, everything we're talking about, you'll be able to see at the Future Blockchain Summit and FinTech Surge, which is happening at GITEX, and that's going to be in Dubai, October 17th through the 20th. We really want you to be there to see all of this. You will see the scanner. Maybe there's a way to convince Robert you could get scanned there. I have no idea. I know that being Polish is tough because they don't take bribes.
What are you talking about?
Oh, do you? I don't know.
Yeah,
you see my last name. My last name right there. That's a ski right there.
That is a ski. I got the ski off of mine.
Just real quick, people, go to Future Blockchain Summit or to GITEX and sign up for our event. We would love to see you there. There's going to be a massive crowd because we have so much going on in Dubai. Dubai is, if you've never been to Dubai, I've been to over 100 countries. This is one of my favorite cities in the entire world, and there's so much going on. Dubai has not closed down at all during COVID. So it's a city that never sleeps, and it's awake, and it's waiting for you. So make sure you sign up by going to GITEX Future Blockchain Summit and sign up and be part of our great event. And you'll be able to meet Robert and all of our other speakers there too. Sorry about that, Robert. I had to do a commercial.
No problem. Have you been to Poland? You said 100 countries. That's a lot.
Talk.
Very good.
Yeah,
awesome.
I've been to Krakow. Actually, Poland's beautiful. Poland's great, but I'm part Polish, so I have to, right?
You have to go.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to allow people to ask questions. Let me lower everyone's hand, and then now you guys, if you have a question, raise your hand. You can ask Robert a question, and that means you have to unmute yourself when I go to you, okay? I'm going to now allow, so going to Terrence first. Terrence, unmute yourself, and you can ask your question to... Here we go.
Hey, Rob.
Good.
Hey, you guys. Appreciate you guys for having me on. I'm excited about the project. I was wanting to know if we were going to adjust the burn factor to try to get on tier 1 currency exchanges and what's going on September the 6th.
Oh, well, September the 6th, you'll just have to see, man. But thank you for the question. In regards to the burn, as you know, we've implemented the DAO now, so anything like that would be up to vote. But we are considering that as our conversations evolve with tier ones, and we will likely have to either remove the burn or the fee totally, or just modify it to please them. But I believe after Dubai, we'll be bombarded with offers from tier ones because there's nothing else like it in the space, and they'll see what really is up.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let me go over to, I'm going to go to Frank. Frank, unmute yourself and ask your question to Robert.
Hi, Robert. You're a fan from India right here. I just want to ask you that, so are these scanners fixed to this, 7 meter in size, or are we looking at multiple variations based on requirements later on in the future? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question. So Wolf is an engineering company. One of the ideas was to have a portable scanner for even at-home scanning that you could lease to have at home and then scan your objects, scan yourself, scan your mom, scan your dog, whatever. Another use case is for medicine, a smaller scanner for hospitals. But yeah, right now we're kind of just focusing on bringing something that's really just mind-blowing, because the scale of it, like you can imagine this 7 meter tall sphere placed on a glass platform. It's going to be really like a portal. So that's kind of the effect we're going for. But the size isn't just for the show. It's actually part of the technical specs. There's going to be way more cameras on this one, and but over time we definitely want to address different market segments.
All right, thank you. Let me go.
And you could go there with your Lamborghini and then send someone by your virtual Lamborghini.
Yeah, we'll be selling virtual Lambos after we scan one of them.
There we go.
Oh, you'll get one there at the event.
Yeah, exactly.
Go. Let me try. Is it Hayana? Unmute yourself. Go for it. What's your question? Hayana? Okay. That's not going to happen. Let's try John. John, let's see. Sorry, guys. I am allowed to talk. John, unmute yourself and ask your question. By the way, is it Robert or Rob? Which one do you prefer?
Either or.
Great. John, ask Robert any question you want.
Hi, everybody. I'm residing in Zurich, Switzerland. I'm a seasoned entrepreneur. I'm interested to know about your plans, because everybody's talking about Dubai. In a project, it should be planned by the beginning of the year. That what is the roadmap? What is your scope? What is after the Dubai? I understand that you're waiting to see the reactions and the interests of the investors on Dubai, but what is the company's goal in general after Dubai? Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, John, very soothing voice. I could listen to you.
It works for me too, right?
You should do audiobooks, man. But that's a great question. Like, as an entrepreneur, sometimes you need to move fast and just see how the market reacts, as you rightly said. We're going to be shipping off to this scanner off to somewhere where you will soon know where exactly, because it's tied in with a partnership that we're going to be announcing very shortly. Things are moving very quickly, and I say that because we've made a kind of quantum leap that's outside of our white paper right now. What we're kind of working on right now is outside of any white paper ideas I ever had. So this partnership really will change everything, which we will very shortly see. But longer term, we're planning to conquer Asia, because we see that as the most prominent kind of market, the part of the world for this type of activity. And in the white paper we had that we'll be building, I think, 12 locations, 12 scanners next year. We might be doing more than that. And these are the version 3 scanners, which were never really in the scope of the initial Metahero plan. So because of that, we're gonna have to update the white paper and everything around it. But I rest assured, when you see this and what it can do in Dubai, it will give everyone a lot of clarity. And every day I get calls and kind of I get hit up by investors who want to put a lot of money into Metahero, and I cannot allow them to buy in right now, especially OTC, because I know where this is all going, and right now we're still at a very early stage. And showing a physical demonstration of the scanner will just bring in even more different types of people and higher caliber investors.
Aren't you excited about a hackathon happening?
Well, I'm the worst coder in the world, so not really. I could probably. No, I swear I try to be, and then I hired 200 developers in my last company who did the work. I'm just kind of the guy who comes up with an idea, and someone tells me if it's possible or not. I usually hope.
Mr.
Well, we can actually facilitate a few NFT coders and NFT ideas to use your scanner, build amazing NFTs, and just push it through their ideas. Like tens of projects can actually use your utility.
That would be amazing. I think NFTs in there.
That's the whole idea of the BizSum. We're inviting.
See, by the way, this is exactly what should be happening at every great event: is deal flow between each other, right? Finding opportunities and creating long-term relationships. So I love that this is happening. Hey, I popped you on because I want to keep the speakers on after they've been interviewed and allow the other speakers to have conversation. So before we go to our next speaker, do you have any questions for Rob?
I had one, but I forgot it with the tons of messages that were blasting here and there. I was dealing with the questions. I forgot mine. I had a really good question, at least for myself, and I totally forgot it. I'm sorry.
I don't believe you did. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Really, it was a really good question.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So as now I got it. It might be a little irrelevant, Robert. I happen to have invested in an animation and post-production studio 8 years ago, sorry. So we do a lot of post-production animation, 3D movie and production, so on and so forth. So we use this camera and this software technique wherein we scan actors and actresses, and then so this thing lays out a 3D version of them, like an avatar, and then the whole movie shot in 3D. I mean, in like the real 3D, but in this case, the actor really acts. So we cut the efforts, like a gazillion man hours of efforts, by making the real one act while the same thing is performed by the 3D. Is it something similar? Because this is a very, very, it's a fantastic
long
technology.
Question, by the way. That's a long question.
I thought we were taking long questions.
Are you talking about like video?
You just heard John. How can you stop me?
That was long.
I'm at least.
So yeah, it will evolve into that for sure.
Also because that tech is smaller. That's where my question is coming from.
Yeah, because we're looking to bring this in a commercialized fashion, which requires a completely different approach. There's tons of these scanners around the world used in Hollywood and etc. Yeah. But for commercialization purposes, we need to make it mobile. We need to make it just reproducible, because we're going to be building many of them. So we need the cost to come down with production. But over time, yeah, animation will definitely be a part of it, and like filming a music video inside of this chamber and then putting yourself like in any
that's gonna be amazing.
background.
Yeah, a quick follow-up. So is it your tech is very, very specific to the chambers and the tech that you have built, or would you allow these external service providers who would be probably able to do almost the same thing and are doing it over and over again in movies, would you allow them to integrate with your service?
No, ours is.
I'm a tech guy. I'm sorry. I just have tech questions.
Yeah, ours is very specific. It's going to be a closed sort of network of scanners that, like I said, the privacy issue of scanning human bodies, people's faces and bodies, is very serious. So we're going to have a legal framework around that, and our own server hosting to host those files.
Right.
And that brings me to Ken. Last question. Ken, please. Last question.
All right, last question.
Please. Okay,
right.
Rob, you're talking about servers of your own. Isn't that defeating the idea of decentralization? Why wouldn't you use IPFS or Storj or one of those decentralized services? Definitely these days.
Well, I mean, that's a good question. I guess we're not really at that stage yet.
Ken, see?
Okay, you got me. It's a good question.
If those types of services fit in within the legal framework that the lawyers come up with, then absolutely, I don't see why not. Legal stuff. I don't know, but I don't know about you guys.
The lawyers come up with. That's the key.
Yeah, because unfortunately, this requires a lot of legal work, and I'm not a fan of it because I don't understand what lawyers do. They just like to make things complicated.
They take your money is what they do. They're quite good at it.
Exactly.
Hey, Robert, I know you're a dad. Real quick before we bring in our last guest, I have a fun trick to show you guys. You ready?
Okay.
Here it is. All I did was on a piece of cardboard, I wrote an up arrow, and on the back side, a side arrow. Okay? Up, inside. You ready now? Here goes the magic trick to show your kids. When you hold it like this and you spin it, all the arrows are up, right? Now wait a second. Now it gets better. When I hold it this way, it's up then down. Did I just blow your mind?
Yes, you did.
This is a competitor to the Meta scanner for sure.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
We'll scan that piece of paper and do it virtually.
You can do it within inside the scanner. Yeah.
Look at mind blowing. Everyone's liking that. All right, let's bring on our last panelist for today.
$200.
This is not $200. This is free. This is free.
No, the scan is $200.
Yes, the scan is, but the trick was free.
I will pay for Ken's scan. No worries.
Okay.
We'll sponsor it.
All right, let's bring on our last speaker, guys. We're all going to have fun here because we are going to talk about somebody that has done an amazing deal with Bahrain, which I just love saying Bahrain because I say it with the proper accent, I believe. Christina, you try to say it.
That is impressive.
Wait, Christine's turn. Come on, Christina.
Bahrain.
Ooh, you're pretty close.
I'm trying to.
Rob?
Bahrain.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And now with an Indian accent.
Oh, really? Bahrain.
Yeah, I gotta give Ken. Can you take the #1 spot, man?
But he was practicing. Our first shot.
It's just again one of those countries I've been to, and I wanted to say.
Bahrain is like extremely supportive.
Everybody, it's open opportunity to ask each other questions. First, my question is, Rob, you ready?
Yes.
Tell me about that photo, man. You look like a superhero. Look at this. Look at
man.
that.
Oh, it's when I had hair, man.
Look, everything, man. You look like a Marvel superhero. Look at you.
Oh, stop it, Ken.
I'm just
Beauty
saying.
of having your own 3D scanner and your own 3D
look
modelers.
at that. I'm just saying that was a pretty damn good photo. If you have a question, please raise your hand. You have an opportunity to ask all of our panelists a question. I'm going to go first to Alan. Hey, Alan, you get to unmute yourself and ask the first question. Well, you just disappeared. There you go.
Yes, you
Alan?
hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Where are you
hear
calling
me?
from? Where are you based, Alan?
I'm based in Poland.
In Poland. There you go. Who's your, let me guess. The question's for Robert, right?
Yeah.
Figure that one out. Go ahead. What's your question?
Robert, are you limit yourself to 3D scan, or you discover for example, build some robots, or sorry, my English is not good. Maybe in Polish.
Why don't you ask him in Polish, and then he'll answer it in English.
Okej. To więc Robert, mam takie pytanie, czy ty się ograniczasz do skanu ludzi, czy idziesz dalej, czy chciałbyś na przykład budować roboty, czy iść w tym kierunku, na przykład, nie wiem, odkryć nieznane w kosmos, gdzieś tam nowe planety odkrywać, dalej się rozwijać, rosnąć. W tym sensie, czy ty się ograniczasz do skanu, czy też...
No, rozumiem. Ken, you want to translate that for everyone?
I want to make sure that he had a period in that. Why don't you tell him what he said, Robert, and answer it.
Yeah, Alan was asking if I'm going to limit myself to just the scanning business of Metahero and the metaverse, or if I'm going to be building rockets to go to Mars and stuff. To answer your question, Alan, I am thinking about already a second project, which involves also a tokenized project. It revolves recycling and 3D printing. But that's all I'm going to say for now. And it also potentially does involve Wolf Group, because they're one of the leaders in the world in 3D printing. But we're looking to tokenize that potentially after the success of Metahero. So I'm not limiting myself.
Every time you want to ask Robert a question, remember that right there. That's the picture. That's the picture. Okay, let's go. I'm curious about this one. Princess Noor. I am going to... All right. Go for it. Princess Noor, unmute yourself.
Hi. It's actually 10 p.m. in Malaysia.
I'm with you. It's almost 10 o'clock where I'm at in Bali. So, Princess, what is your question? And go for it.
Can I have two panel like Roberts and Talal?
Go ahead.
Yep. My first question for Robert. Just now you mentioned that you're going to extend your business to Asia. Would it be in Malaysia, one of them? And how are we going to participate, being the partners? And secondly, to Talal, I love this Shari'i compliance, and I've been looking into this since 2015, but no one bothers to tell me about it. So do you mind to tell us how to invest? Thank you.
Terima kasih.
You know. Terima kasih. Thank you.
So we have no concrete plans for Malaysia right now, but we know that Seoul and Korea and Tokyo will likely be the first locations, and we're just going to take it from there as we evolve. So very difficult to kind of plan 24 locations in advance, but yeah.
Yeah, but possibly. That makes sense. I mean, Seoul obviously would be one of the first smart areas, right? Tokyo, of course. Somewhere in China, probably more Shanghai than Beijing.
Maybe, but with the crypto stuff going on there.
Yeah, that's right. They'll kick you out. Hey, let's go over to Talal. You get the second question.
Yeah, so Princess, you just go on coinmina.com and you sign up. And if you have any questions, email me on talal@coinmina.com and I will make sure you're sorted.
Thank you, Talal. All right. See you guys.
Before we go, I just want you all to know that Christina and I will be at the Future Blockchain Summit moderating all these panels and conversations. I really wanted to make sure that you go check out Christina's incredible publication that's been around. It's actually one of the first in the crypto space, blockchain and fintech, NFT. Cointelegraph is probably the marquee platform when it comes to this. So if people want to find out more, Christina, how do they get a hold of you? Is it simple email? What do they do to get a hold of you?
Actually, my contacts are available at the page about us on cointelegraph.com. And so I'm always happy to read your stories, to talk to you, and to discuss the future of money, of financial systems, and of the sustainable world. Thank you, Ken, for a nice introduction.
Oh, no, I'm excited. I'm excited to meet you in the real world.
By the way,
I can be
not
found
only
on
as
Instagram.
virtual avatar scan, but this is also exciting. I mean, we can scan ourselves and then communicate in the metaverse.
I love it.
Yep, thank you all. See you all in Dubai. Thank you.
Thank you,
that's great, Princess. Awesome. You can find me on Instagram. I'm at Ken Radio, at Ken, K-E-N Radio. And that's where I guess
you're a famous guy. Of course I know. Thank you. Thank you, famous guy.
Robert, did you get her to do that?
I did not. I promise you.
All right. Let me go to, let's take two more. Let's go to Mikkel. I think, Mikkel, please unmute yourself. You have a question? Go for it, Mikkel.
Yes, hello. I have a quick question. What people, Robert, it's a question for you. What people do you still need in Metahero team, and what is the best way, if any, to apply? Thanks.
Well, we're not really hiring anyone other than blockchain engineers to help with our bridging to other blockchains. But yeah, we're a tightly knit team, and I don't plan to grow the team much more because in my last company I hired 250 people and it was a bit of a nightmare. I don't think we'll go past 20 in this project. There's simply no need because you don't have 100 accountants, you don't have 10 lawyers and all this stuff.
Keep it lean. Keep it
lean. Crypto is just a pure creation without all the baggage. And that's why I love it.
Invest in friends, not in team. Yes.
By the way, Robert, do me a favor. Send me your phone number because I want to prevent you from getting sued.
They want to sue me. That's fine. I'm not in the U.S.
I would rather prevent it because I want to make sure you're not infringing on certain patents that I think are literally designed not to be seen.
I see. Okay.
Let me go to Alan. Alan, you have a question? Go for it. Unmute yourself. All right, Alan's in the space shuttle. Or is that Luke? Luke.
I just have a question. To Robert. I'm actually just driving now. I apologize. So hopefully you won't have to repeat my question. So my question is, like you said, you're going to tokenize the 3D printing. So my question is, are you going to come up with some other token, or are we going to use the same native hero token, or how is it going to work?
Well, yeah. So that was something I probably wasn't meant to say about the next project. That's far further in the future, and it's definitely going to be a new token if that happens. And if it does, you can imagine every home in the world having its own 3D printer and connecting to the largest database of 3D scanned objects and being able to monetize recycled plastics.
So if it's a new token, you're saying there's no value in the current hero token. Don't even touch that one then. Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that one's specific to the metaverse and the meta scanning.
Just want to make sure I understood some there.
Are you trying to manipulate market?
I'm not trying to manipulate. Let me go to Peter. Peter, you get the last question. Peter, unmute yourself. Where are you zooming in from?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great guys. Nice meeting you and hearing you all. It's really interesting panel to participate in. I have one question to Robert, and I'm located in Poland, Warsaw. So hi, Robert.
Hello.
These are all your cousins.
Yeah, one quick.
All my family, 300 people.
Yeah. I actually wish I could be able to show you my picture because we're quite like on the studio side, really similar in look. Not
like
as good looking as Robert.
You look like that.
I see. We see your profile.
No, that's actually my cartoon. I draw a bit, exaggerated. But anyways, the question is, Robert, in one of your Metahero videos you put on YouTube, you mentioned something about creating this environment for future startups. And I just wanted to ask you a question: if it's still a thing, and if it is, how do you see it evolving?
Well, to quickly answer your question, no, it's no longer a thing. Touching upon what I said earlier, we've moved into a new sort of stratosphere with this upcoming partnership, and I don't have the attention to spread across multiple things. So laser focus is the thing right now, leading up to Dubai and post Dubai. So for now, I'm parking that, and perhaps it's something I'll open up once things settle down.
Robert, what's happening in Dubai?
Oh man, you'll see. We're gonna be scanning Ken.
What big event is happening in Dubai?
Oh, the Future Blockchain Summit.
That's right. The Future
Blockchain Summit.
Yeah. What's the date of that? Anyone? Can anyone tell me what the
17th to the 20th?
Yes,
October
17th through the 20th. That's right.
And we're going to be there 6 days early. You know why? Because we have a 7-meter tall scanner to assemble and calibrate.
I love that. Well,
it takes 6 days.
It takes 7 days.
Of the universe. Oh my gosh, that's impressive.
Yeah, exactly.
Robert, and I guess you have some Italian roots as well because you talk with your hands,
I know. I got my DNA scan. I'm actually 2% Neanderthal and straight up 98% Polak.
Is it also your Manta scanner that scans DNA?
I got the Neanderthal also. We probably are relatives. So hey, I want to thank everybody for spending time with us. And if you want to email me on this, I'll tell you that secret on this magic trick. Just letting you know.
Bring that thing to Dubai.
It's gonna blow your mind. We'll scan it. So again, thank you so much. You want to find out more, make sure you go to the Future Blockchain Summit. Christina, if people want to find out more, what's going on? How often do you publish? Like every day, like every few minutes, there's a new article coming out from you guys.
I guess during our show, we already published like 5 articles. So yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
They auto-generated?
No.
It's all bots.
We have a wonderful team. Big one. Not 250 people, but still quite a lot. Yeah, more than 20.
I want to thank everyone. And the man that's pulling the lever that you don't see is Oscar. Oscar, can you please make yourself visible? And we want to thank you for organizing everything. There is Oscar. Oscar, thank you so much for making this happen. That's the big boss, by the way, for the Future Blockchain Summit and for GITEX and for everything. He's the guy. So Oscar, thanks a lot for bringing this awesome team together today.
Thank you, Oscar. And thank you, Ken. You are amazing as always. Thank you,
everyone. Thank you so much. We will see you at the Future Blockchain Summit. Everyone, thank you, and we'll talk to you all later.
Thank you.